Hey guys, welcome to episode 31 of the Tower Babble podcast. We're in our third location in a couple weeks. So sorry if it sounds like we're in the bottom of a cave. Just assume that in fact we are in the bottom.
As far as you know, we are.
You need like water driplets every day.
Can I add that sound effect here? I mean, put a microphone.
Maybe like a bat squeal.
So we're not in the tower, we're in the bat cave.
Sure. It's called Bat Cave. Just a cave. The cave.
Bat caves are pretty cool though. Batmans you can usually find in them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't have a chance to do a lot of prep, so it's gonna be a little bit more loose. But so I'll just go through.
A lot.
I did not have a lot of time.
Loosey goosey.
Yeah. So we're going to go through it kind of loosey goosey, and I'll just kind of throw stories out.
You can't just use that word.
I just said it. You can't just.
Yeah. Well, I took your word and I used it for my own. And okay, so we're gonna start with so it's Batman's 75th anniversary this year. Last year I think it was Superman's 50th.
I think also 75.
No.
Superman's older than Batman.
Yeah.
They're both 75.
They're both 75. They were 1 and 75 last year. So.
Superman came out first.
Yeah.
And Batman came out
a year after. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Excuse me, dumb guy right here.
Do some prep for once.
So they've been releasing animated short films. Bruce Timm, obviously the guy behind the Batman the Animated Series, Emmy Award-winning Batman the Animated Series, released a short called Strange Days. Dan, you just watched it. I watched it a couple days ago. It's pretty cool. It just makes you wish there was another Batman the Animated Series on television right now. Everything that comes on DC just gets canceled in a year. So it's hard to have any faith in anything.
And it definitely looks the same, and it definitely was kind of the darker, not so much skewing to the younger audience.
Yeah, there's a gun, there's bullet sounds in it.
It's black and white too, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like sepia-ish.
Old-fashioned kind of looking.
Either way, it has Kevin Conroy doing the voice. There's now been a Batman Beyond short film that's pretty cool. Also has Kevin Conroy doing the old Bruce Wayne voice, and the same guy who did Terry McGinnis doing the Terry McGinnis voice. Also, arguably much cooler than the Bruce Timm voice.
Action.
More action, and it has has a bunch of different drawings of the old school Batmans in there.
Yeah, that was cool.
Either way, it just kind of, like I said, makes you wish that there was a good Batman show.
Beware the Batman still on?
No.
It's canceled for sure now?
It's on hiatus. But that's
the same back after Christmas.
No, that's the same thing they said about Young Justice and Green Lantern. They ended up releasing the last couple episodes and it never came back.
Yeah, so, pretty much means that they're tentatively canceled unless something crazy happens.
So it's essentially canceled.
They need to change their expectations of viewership then, because it's a Batman show.
Yeah, I agree. I wrote a piece on this called "What's Wrong with Animated Programming Today." Essentially talking a lot about what CN is doing, or Cartoon Network. Not to be confused with Canadian National.
And their shows should be available on iPads, because that's what a lot of kids use these days, I feel.
Yeah, I also agree. I think it should be made available online. It should be you shouldn't be expecting, they literally said that if too many girls started watching, they didn't want that. It's arguably sexist. So
yeah,
but then we also know that it's all about toy sales.
It doesn't. It shouldn't be about.
Toy sales. Did you see any Beware the Batman toys? Mm-hmm. I don't remember. I don't really look for those, but
no, I didn't. Else it wasn't on long enough. Yeah, and then you have shows like Green Lantern, which are canceled before they can even get started.
Yeah, they're only the movie toys, not the show.
Yeah, and there's a couple of them now. There's that cool statue that we saw at the comic book store of Green Lantern from the animated series. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's now the first season's out on DVD, quote unquote, first season.
They had DVD part 1 and part 2, and now the Blu-ray's out, but you can't find it here.
Yeah, it's out of stock on Amazon.
Is it? You check?
I haven't checked recently, but it was last time I looked.
Yeah, I kind of want to pick one up.
One of the executive producers on Green Lantern. This is actually one of the stories in here. If I was doing prep, I would have had this perfectly lined up. But
all about the segues.
I love segues.
I'm terrible at them.
I'm pretty much the best at segues. Anyway, so one of the showrunners of Green Lantern actually did a comic strip, explaining how his experience that he had with Cartoon Network and doing a what are they called, focus group. So they took one of the episodes of Green Lantern, one of the earlier episodes of Green Lantern the Animated Series, and they showed it to a bunch of kids in this theater type setting, and they each had a remote that kind of like a lycometer, like how much they liked it and how much they weren't. Like they could change it at any time, like how much they're liking what was on at the time.
Yeah.
And then like the producers were able to watch what was happening on a screen as well as like behind like a one-way sided glass, right? What are you showing him?
Nothing. It's supposed to be.
Those are pretty sick. Game of Thrones bogans. They're pretty sick, yeah.
Okay, well, that's pretty cool. Alright, well, don't do that. And then, anyway, so this guy, he was, apparently all the kids were really liking it. But then after, they are split up into different demographics. And so, like, there's, like, boys age, like, 8 to 10 or whatever, and then boys age 10 to 15 or something like that. And then girls. Well, all girls of all ages were in a different, like, demographic. And then they're split up, and then different, like, questioners ask the people, like, ask the kids different, like, things about the episode, and just to kind of gauge, like, what they took away from it. And, yeah. So, but apparently the questions were, like, very leading. So you'd have something like what do you think of the Red Lanterns? And they would say, well, they seem like really powerful, more powerful than the Green Lanterns. And they're like, well, that's the point, right? But like, the people would come back and say, hey, well, the kids seem really confused about the episode. They like blah, blah, blah. But really what the producers were taking away is that really what the kids wanted to know more, not that they were confused. They were interested and wanted to know more. Yeah. And that they were actually taking away the right things, but like the execs weren't getting it. So they ended up saying you should change the show to reflect what the focus group had apparently said. And he goes to Bruce Timm, who's involved in the show. Bruce Timm, obviously, we just talked about other Batman the Animated Series. And he says, okay, well, he tells them what happened. And he says, well, you know, when I was writing Batman the Animated Series, they focus grouped that as well. And they said it was too dark and too mature for children's audiences. And they told me to change it. And I didn't. I left it the same. And now people tell me that Batman the Animated Series is something that's like been a major inspiration for their childhood and lots of different things. Yeah. So they end up saying that they end up not changing Green Lantern, and obviously the studio's not happy and it gets canceled. But then the last shot of his comic strip is like a page for Amazon that says Green Lantern Blu-ray out of stock or whatever. So it's like he feels like vindicated. Either way, it's like people know that these like Young Justice and Green Lantern are great shows. They were I guess I don't know how to say, like, just weren't canceled for good reasons. Like
well, they weren't canceled. It wasn't pertaining to anything. It wasn't pertaining to the content of the show
or even viewership.
It was the toy sales, arguably, and the Young Justice said it was skewing to older, and they had a younger demographic they were targeting, right?
Which is okay, but
kind of the same thing because they want to sell toys to younger children.
Sure, yeah, no.
But it should be in a vacuum. You should just look at the show in a vacuum without that kind of stuff.
Well, the thing is, nothing's in a vacuum, right? But
can.
What I say in my article is that okay, so your show is skewing to a different demo than you were targeting. Okay, is it popular with that demo? Yes. Then your show is really not failing at all. It's just your predictions as to who you were gonna hit are different than what actually happened. So that doesn't mean don't change anything. Change what you're selling. Instead of selling toys, sell maquettes, sell shirts with like different logos and stuff on it. You can do that and still make the money. Maybe not to the same degree, but you don't have to compromise the content to do it. You know what I mean? There's other ways. There's other ways to sell things. There's things that you can sell to girls. There's things you can sell to older people. Like I just bought $150 worth. $300 worth I got for 50% off at the local comic on action figures. Yeah. But not so I can like play with them like I used to when I was a kid, but so I can pose them and put them on my shelf, right? Like these are things that you need to think about. And Cartoon Network, because it's not dedicated to doing just DC shows, doesn't care about that stuff, which is part of the problem.
Well, I mean, part of it also is the older we as a generation get, the fewer people there are like us that are actually going to spend money on this kind of
True.
stuff. So it makes sense why
But
they're
it wasn't
targeting
unpopular with kids either, though. It wasn't just popular with the 18 to 35 demo. It was popular. One
thing I've
The
noticed,
design of those toys were shitty too, by the way.
Yeah.
well, that could
The
have
Green Lantern ones were so brutal.
I was watching that show with my nephews, and maybe they're a bit too young, but it was a bit like too much. He said he wanted to watch Justice League instead,
Well, okay,
which was kind of similar, but not quite the same.
No, because you could go back and watch Justice League, and that show could do both. It doesn't have to. It doesn't preclude either person. I don't know.
I don't think Young Justice excludes anybody.
They say preclude. Preclude is the right word, right?
No.
I just want to know what they're gonna do once these two shows they have now are done. Like, what are they gonna do?
Well,
next?
then they have to replace them with something. So
You have to choose a new hero and a new team.
Right now, Batman. What's it called?
You are the Batman. You can't do another Batman now.
No, well, I guess not. You could. I think Batman's very popular.
Kids are always going to know Batman. It's always
I
going
know,
to
but
sell.
like so far they picked a hero and a team, right? So it was Teen Titans basically. Then
Teen Titans Go is playing back to back right now. Instead of in Beware the Batman spot. Teen Titans Go, very popular.
Like
because
repeat episodes?
It's back to back
That's
episodes.
ridiculous.
Because it's only their DC block is really only one show because it's very much it skews to the absolute lowest common denominator. It's just
if it's
stupid comedy. And yes, you know what? There is callbacks to comic book stuff that fans would definitely appreciate, but it's not the same. And it's not. It's funny. There's some definitely funny moments in it, but it's just not. It's not what it could be, and it's definitely not what we had when we were kids. And even what we had now, even then, those don't necessarily hold up as well as they could have. Animation can be so much better than it was when we were kids, but they're wasting it on crap. Ultimate Spider-Man is honestly, I hate that show. I hate Ultimate Spider-Man. It's really bad. It's bad. It's bad.
That's the new one, right?
That's the new one.
What was the one before that?
I want to say Superior Spider-Man or
that one was good.
Yeah.
Where it was kind of funny and he talked to the audience and stuff, and Iron Man showed up.
No, that's the newest one.
That's the newest one. It started out okay.
Well, there was one that aired at the same time as Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah, that was and then that Spider-Man showed up in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but it was voiced by the new guy. It was really confusing.
I don't know, whatever.
What's it called?
Because remember, they're all young in it, right? Luke Cage was in it, and
that's this one, Ultimate Spider-Man. That's what Luke Cage has
White Tiger.
And all that.
I thought the first season was good. I liked the first season.
I hate it, man. I think it's.
I thought it was good.
It was alright. It did a lot of breaking the fourth wall, having him talk to the audience.
Yeah, but that's not Spider-Man.
No. It doesn't have to be Spider-Man. He's supposed to be kind of funny and quippy, and
but it takes it to the whole next. It takes it to the Deadpool level.
When Nova showed up, I thought that was pretty cool. In the first
they have a whole team: Nova, White Tiger,
the Shield guys there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Coulson is in it. That was his first TV appearance.
Yeah, that one's not going anywhere because it's
because he's the principal of their school.
Yeah, he's the principal of their school, of course. So that tied in with the new Avengers show that came out, which also isn't that great either. Versus the Mightiest Heroes was the coolest fucking show on TV at the time. As far as animated program.
Every episode was like a comic book storyline.
Well, that was another thing that
played into a T, basically.
Was the shift away from serialized storytelling towards independent, standalone. You can't have character development if every time everything
you
resets
can, but
again.
it's much harder.
And it just doesn't. It doesn't. It's not as interesting.
That show reminded me of the X-Men show a lot, even the old Spider-Man show of the '90s.
Yeah, Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah,
it's great.
Super good.
But so we're in a world now where everything.
That was only was that 2 seasons or what? Yeah, it was
2 seasons. But by the end, it started getting the end of the second season, right after the Skrull invasion. Yeah. It started kind of falling off a bit. There was some still
the
cool
Vision
parts of it.
showed up too, right?
Yep, it was it got pretty.
They tried to do a lot in a short amount of time. It got a little rushed at the end.
That's when what's his name took over as. The guy behind Long Halloween. Anyway, he's still
Jeff Loeb.
Jeff Loeb is the Marvel TV guy now. His philosophy is that kids can't follow along with serialized content, which I don't think is true. But I think kids are a lot smarter than we give them credit for.
Their animated movies suck too, by the way.
Oh, they're terrible.
I bought that Black Widow Punisher one.
Yeah, well, it's got some cool action in it. But it's the worst voice acting, the worst, and just cheesy, almost anime. Okay, it looks anime. That's cool. It's good animation, but it's just not. it doesn't capture the tone of what the comics are.
Yeah, no,
I don't know. And literally the worst, like, corniest stories, and, like, I don't know. And corny for comic book standards.
But I bought the Blu-ray because they actually started doing some good special features on there, so...
Well, I think maybe they're looking at what DC's doing,
for sure,
and...
Because those things are selling like crazy.
Yeah, well, they're doing 3 a year now.
Yeah. Is Batman sent out now, or is it coming?
No, it's out online now.
Oh, okay. That's why everyone says they're watching it.
Yeah, it's out online now.
I usually wait for the Blu-ray.
The Blu-ray will be out, I think, beginning of next month, so 2 weeks from now.
So sweet how they just come out
every couple months, every 3 months now. We'll have a new animated DC movie. So we'll have 2 in, like, the connected DC animated universe. The next one's not an Aquaman.
Oh, the one after that, I guess.
Okay, yeah. And then we have one. There's the trailer. Have you seen the trailer for the Arkham one?
No.
It's pretty cool.
Is it like the rough sketch trailer, or is it actually like?
No, it's like a full trailer.
Finished one?
It's a full finished trailer. I should have showed it to you guys.
It's cartoon looking. Like
yeah, it's not like the trailers, for,
not the Blur trailer.
It's not like the Blur.
No, yeah.
Though I mean, a movie like that would be the coolest thing ever.
One day.
One day it'll be the point where you can make entire movies you couldn't tell the difference between real life.
But even then, like if you took all the clips from like Arkham Origins or something, like those are pretty cool too. Like put them all together.
Like all those things, I don't know. Like some of the cutscenes apparently are like they're not obviously done to the same detail in the Arkham games, but they were done special like cutscenes. Arkham Knight is supposed to have everything done in engine, so not nice. But either way, it still looks amazing.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Are you guys gonna get a PS4 for that game?
Yeah, mine was Uncharted 4, but I don't know.
Well, speaking of Uncharted 4, so
that's that segue.
More terrible news out of the Uncharted front. Like, no, this game looks like it's like completely falling apart. Yeah. So Star Wars co-writer Todd Stashwick was recast in Uncharted 4. Writer, direct, actor Todd Stashwick, the voice of the Uncharted PS4 teaser trailer. So he did the.
That guy was fired.
Is no longer involved in Naughty Dog's Uncharted project.
Isn't that crazy?
So he's been involved in the game for at least 6 months.
Like, what is going on?
They're completely changing something.
So the quote was, they chose to recast my role. That was
some major thing. So this is the story. Something major happened and it changed, and Amy and the other guy, and they didn't want that to happen.
Because if they're changing something like that, I mean,
6 months he's been working on it, and they fired him. Like what?
So that guy was obviously a large part of the game, completely omitted now.
I feel like they owe like an explanation. Like I don't even care if it's like super corny and professional. Like just send out a press release, some sort of memo of what's going on.
Okay, so Visceral Games, that's the same people who hired Amy Hennig, just hired him as a co-writer on their Star Wars.
This guy seems like he's cool too. He's a writer and a voice actor.
Yeah,
like
he's the all. It's your favorite, like your dream job, essentially.
Pretty much.
I don't know, man. Like Uncharted is arguably my favorite. I think I have said that Uncharted 2 is my favorite game of all time. I've said it on this podcast. I'll defend it. That game is amazing.
It is.
I've never had a game like make me buy a system. That game did it. I wanted to buy one on a Sunday night at midnight. I couldn't. I don't know why. I thought I had to have it that moment.
I convinced you.
Anyway, I ended up buying it Monday morning. But this game looks like it's just like it's what they call development hell. It's just the people like not leaving the project. It'll for sure be delayed now. There's no way it's going to come out we don't have a release date, so
probably not this. I don't see it coming out this winter.
No, it's not coming out. It'll be next. It won't be this winter. It'll be the next winter after that. It'll be November.
It's so crazy how E3 is like coming up.
Yeah, a couple months.
That's so
August,
nuts.
right?
I feel like we just had it.
That's true because we just had E3. We just had E3 and they announced they had like
huge announcement.
And then now I have a PS4 already. And speaking of PS4, so I have almost all the trophies to get a platinum in Battlefield 4. I just need one more trophy. That'll just happen naturally. It's 45 kills with the M191 handgun. So then I'll have the platinum. I'll have the platinum in both the games I own for the PS4 because I have nothing else to play because there's nothing coming out for who knows how long.
Platinum must be pretty easy then. Sweet.
Not that hard. They're not like impossible. I think what they're big.
No, that's good. They're learning it from before because
they're literally impossible before. Like some of them, like
what is it? You just have to get a certain amount of kills with each type of
gun. That's some of the trophies. Yeah, for sure.
Not for the Battlefield 4. Most of them were campaign trophies. So each level in the campaign had like in-game medals or whatever, bronze, silver, and gold. To get the trophy, you had to get 1,000 more points than the gold medal in the trophy. And then each level had its own special trophy. Like, so for level 1, you had to get 10 C4 kills in the first level, and then later...
People are still having crazy problems with that game, too, on PS4.
Yeah, PS3 even worse. And, like, they said they...
I really hope they don't announce a Battlefield 5 or whatever.
If they announce a Battlefield 5 before they fix the problems for Battlefield 4...
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then fall into Call of Duty.
Not to mention they're working on Battlefront, which so you have them saying we won't work on anything else until they fix the issues of Battlefield 4. They announced that when they have the issues or whatever. We're not working on anything, that's all we're doing. So if let's say at E3 they come out and they show a bunch of footage they have maybe done for Battlefront, which I'd be surprised because they just announced it was just a teaser trailer last year, then I'd be, it's like, well, you're a fucking liar. Yeah. So I mean, I'd be surprised if Battlefield 5 is announced until
I would like them
next
to
year.
wait one more year.
Yeah, I like how they wait.
Let people buy more PS4.
It's usually about 2.5 years between Battlefield games.
Like, there'll be another Call of Duty probably for sure, but
there's a Call of Duty every single year.
You can set your watch by it.
There is 3 studios working on Call of Duty games, which would arguably, I guess, make the games better because you have a 3-year development cycle instead of a 2-year development cycle. But either way, that it just feels I can't do it anymore, man.
I still want to play the campaign of Ghosts.
I got Ghosts for $10 and I played it for literally 15 minutes.
Yeah, sounds like great.
I'm like no.
Why only $10?
Remember I telling you about this a while ago where you could trade in
on PS3 or PS4?
On PS3.
Oh well. I'd want to play it on PS4.
Well, at the time, I hadn't had the PS4 yet.
If you play it on PS3, it's exactly the same textures, everything.
Yeah, everything. It's like crap. Like I couldn't. Like everything looks like muddled brown mud.
I don't know. I just see it like a movie. Like I'll get a bowl of popcorn and I'll play the campaign.
Well, sure, like the campaign. I hop on the multiplayer because that's what everyone does, right? And then I'm like, this sucks. Like I'm not having any fun.
The multiplayer is the reason to buy the game. The campaign's horrible in all those games.
No, a lot of people like some people. Not saying everyone, but like I like to buy it to play the campaign. Then I'll jump into multiplayer.
I do, just because I like to play every part of it.
Yeah, you practice.
But the pull is the multiplayer.
No, for sure, absolutely. That's what makes it last.
I've never been compelled to buy a Call of Duty game for the campaign alone.
What's the last time you've been compelled to buy a Call of Duty game?
Yeah,
in general.
Every year except for this year, which was you like
Black
2
Ops.
years ago.
Yeah, I was 2 years ago.
I still like the hype. I like playing with all my friends and whatnot, and I like the popcorn action of the campaigns. I think it's fun.
Well, okay, so I agree. I think shooters are best to play with friends. I think the best shooter experience I've ever had was with Bad Company 2 when all you guys were playing. And I haven't had that since then.
That sucks.
I actually had a guy from
random school.
I had a guy from school, and man, random squad members are the worst. They all suck. I had a guy from school who bought a PS4 and has Battlefield 4, but he loves Call of Duty. And he only plays like squad deathmatch and team deathmatch and domination, which are just the Call of Duty modes in Battlefield, which aren't like it just wastes the whole game. It's just what's the point? Anyway, but I did get my first chance on using what's that, party chat with the PS4. Works great, by the way. So when you guys get one, like it'll be for sure worth it.
I'll probably have one by the end of the summer, but not
well, you have to save up still. You've got this brand new cave.
Yeah.
Your tax return.
Huh?
What your tax return?
It's about that entertainment unit.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, I still have some money coming in, but I'm not going to buy it right away.
You have a TV you have to get because you don't want to play it. You don't want to play a PS4 on like a
you see that little dinky 27-inch TV?
I have 250s by the way, but
you have 250.
Why do you have 250-inch TVs?
I won one at my sister's wedding.
That's right.
Give me one for
That's pretty skeptical. That's very nice.
No,
one at your sister's wedding, eh?
I waited till the last second, bought like 20 tickets.
Yeah.
And then I put my hand in there as if I was gonna pick a winner, right? So you don't just toss on the top.
I don't think you're allowed to do that.
You know,
it's his sister's wedding. You do whatever you want.
You're not allowed to put your hand.
Why? Because it's his wedding?
Because you can take stuff out.
You're not allowed to put your hand in the bucket at all. You drop it in. You gotta drop it from the top.
You don't
there
drop
has to be
it
space between your hand and the bucket.
No, because then
it's a bag usually.
Because if someone puts their hand and they go in past the top layer.
Exactly. They're supposed to shake it up, and then someone does
shakes it up. I went in.
You have to shake it up.
This is how I went in.
This is why you won at your sister's wedding. This is the whole point.
No,
I just went in and I sprinkled my nail.
No, I haven't done it again since. But like I put it in, mixed my hand around with my ticket still in my fingers. then drop the tickets in the very middle.
So you made a hole. You made a donut with yours in the middle.
And someone went into the thing, whooshed their head around in the middle, and
this is a pretty empty bucket. There's just this one.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's a ton of tickets. There's like 300 tickets in there.
Okay, well,
so that's the strategy. If you want to
it's the way to cheat if you want to win it at social.
I don't know if I win or not, but it happens.
Socials are only things in Manitoba, so
no one's
like,
and now the rules are different. So
apparently, but
they're pretty different now.
Like pretty strict apparently. What?
It's like you get taxed on your socials.
That's such bullshit. I don't even. We're not gonna get into this.
And then tickets that like for like a Jets game or something have to be sanctioned by like.
No, I don't even want to get into it. Okay, what's this? Marvel now the biggest movie franchise ever, right?
Of course.
Like Marvel,
like the movies, the Marvel movies,
like all together.
Like bigger than James Bond, bigger than Star Wars, bigger than.
How many are there now? Like
so many. It's official. Blah blah blah. Bigger than Harry Potter. That's pretty one. That's a big one.
But Captain America's killing it. Like it's 3 weekends.
With the huge success of Captain America: The Winter Soldier, the MCU's total gross is now up to a whopping $2.46 billion.
Jesus.
Topping Harry Potter's $2.39 billion and Star Wars $1.91 billion, which is only going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
Now that remember when we thought there was going to be no movies for a while? Did anyone really think there was going to be no more Star Wars movies?
Yeah.
Like it was a couple years, and then like Star Wars: The Clone Wars was the only Star Wars scene that was on. And like everyone's like, oh, well, I wonder what we're gonna do. And they're gonna make.
But the Marvel movies are only get better now with the budgets they can afford. Like,
well, every year they make more money, so every year you can make a bigger movie.
There's no limit, probably. It's like whatever you need.
Star Wars will do the same, but not to the same level. I don't think Marvel's still good.
What's more? By Disney? Man. Why? They're the same company.
Well, Star Wars is so like such a lifelong series. Like,
yeah, man, it's like the coolest universe. Like I can't like Marvel and DC universes are pretty cool, but Star Wars is like you have superpowers in this universe, but it's in space. Mm-hmm. I guess there's space in both of those ones as well. But
if I had to pick one, though, I'd probably pick Marvel Universe movies.
Marvel?
Yeah.
Like for movies, or just just the universe in general?
Both.
Jeez. Really?
Oh yeah.
But you wouldn't live in which one? You have to live in one. Which one would you pick?
Marvel.
Really? Yeah. Not New York or
Star Wars would suck. Your planets get blown up.
Only if you live on. Shit. Alderaan. But if that other guy had his way, that guy from the How You Do the Prequels the Right Way, it wouldn't be Alderaan.
It would have been Naboo.
Yeah. Which makes sense because you never go back to Naboo.
Attachment to Naboo. Whatever.
Yeah, and you never go back to Naboo. You never even hear the words Naboo once in the whole like original series. Because he had
it'd be sick to be a Jedi for sure, but like the Marvel universe, so many different superheroes, superpowers.
It also seems like a lot of people.
X-Men, Avengers.
Yeah, but you're also not.
Are you a superhero in the Marvel universe? You're just there.
You're just living.
Some dude.
You're just living your accountant.
You're some dude. You can still like find a way to help.
Then I'd rather live in the Star Wars universe. Is all like cool technology and stuff.
No, you wear robes and you're a slave somewhere.
There's more to it than that. You could just be a regular dude and become a bounty hunter.
Because it is cool technology, but like the aesthetic is like old slavery looking like shittiness like everywhere.
Yeah, but you don't have slaves. You have droids.
You can't afford a droid, then you don't have
you
a droid.
Don't get to decide that. I would be a really rich regular dude.
No.
Okay, you can live on Coruscant.
Yeah, what happens if I live on tour?
No. Being in the Marvel would be so much cooler. Like if you're like Jimmy Olsen or something.
No, it's like living in this world, but there's superheroes everywhere.
Yeah. And you just have.
Or if you're Lois Lane and you're with Superman.
But you're not Lois Lane. You're just a regular.
No, because those people are regular people.
No, they're not. They're
not superheroes.
Lois Lane is dating Superman.
Being a regular person in that universe, you run the risk of just a building falling on you at any time, and you have nothing you can do about it. If you're a Jedi.
Oh, then okay, your planet can get blown up by the Death Star.
Yeah, no, because there's only one Death Star.
No,
there's only one Death Star, and it only destroys one
constant
planet.
like wars and Jedis and Sith will just kill you with their lightsabers. Like it sucks.
No, because
stormtroopers. They don't give a shit about anybody else.
Stormtroopers everywhere.
Yeah, they're like the police.
No, it's like no.
No, you're wrong.
Like the Third Reich, that's what they are.
I don't know about that. You think stormtroopers are like the Third Reich?
Yeah.
So it'd be like, yeah.
Were the clone troopers like the Third Reich?
No.
No, they were more like the military.
Yeah, before, yeah.
So it's like military police.
So in the original trilogy,
they were a lot like Nazis.
That would be Nazi-ish. That'd be so.
And then a little bit more like Russians later on.
No, you guys are both wrong.
No, I'm sorry. We also didn't establish
establish
when you're living in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, maybe you're living in the Old Republic. Even then, that's pretty dangerous.
Maybe you're living in the middle of the prime of Jedi.
Still no.
No, what do you mean still?
Still no.
No, that doesn't make any sense because living in the Marvel or DC universe is like living in this world, except you're constantly at risk of dying.
No.
Yes!
You're looking at it in too of a realistic way. Because look at the Avengers. Like, they don't showcase, like, it's not all about death or whatever, right?
No.
Everything is fantastical, right? Like, you could never really have a Captain America or whatnot.
Yeah,
no, that happened.
That's
everything.
the point.
Everything changes, though. The rules
We're
of
living
reality
in a world
change.
where those
No, the rules of reality change.
So if a building falls, then you still die.
People still die.
There's still a
No,
chance.
everyone still dies in both universes. It's not about just that. I'm just saying, it's not like now and then someone can just fly and everything else is the same. It's a little bit different.
But that's essentially what those universes are. There's regular people who work regular jobs, and then there's people who can fly.
No, but you take it's different. It's not what it is now in our universe with the same physics.
But that's what it is. I'm saying that's what that world is. Yeah.
If you go into the Marvel universe, if you went to the Marvel Avengers movie, you wouldn't have Black Widow be able to do the things she can do. Like it's not.
No, that's what we're saying. You go in that world where she can do those things. That's what we're saying.
Then everything is different. Then death is not as crazy as it is in our.
Yeah, because anyone can come back, I guess. I don't. But like this whole point is only the special people get to do those things.
If I have a choice, I'm never gonna come back as a regular person at any of those universes.
Well, no, I get that, but like, see, the whole point of the argument was that if you're a regular person living, what universe would you want to live in? And you could pick any. Really, we just put say Marvel.
I
or
think
Star
it depends
Wars.
on the planet.
In Star Wars.
In any.
Okay. Because you could live on like lots of different planets in either of them. You wouldn't want to live on Apocalypse, though. That'd be a bad one. Mm-hmm. That other one, though, where the New Gods live, that's a pretty sweet place to live. With the New Gods, right? No?
I think you have to be a New God to live there.
Yeah. What's New Genesis? New Genesis. Let's see. So Star Wars looks like it's going back to Tatooine. Speaking of Star Wars, going back to Tatooine.
Of course it is.
There's lots of camera paparazzi shots of what looks like the feet of AT-ATs
on Tatooine.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Giant desert battle, kind of similar to it's kind of reminiscent of the Hoth battle, maybe, I don't know. So the world of Star Wars we're coming into is what 30 says it 30 years after the end of that's what they said. 30 years after the end of Episode 6, which means that. What's happened with the Empire? Is there still pieces that are
there's still AT-ATs. There are,
but maybe they've been taken over by the rebels.
How does Episode 6 end? It's the Death Star blows up, and a lot of their main
the power structure is pretty much destroyed.
But everything you have to remember that this is a whole galaxy that the Empire was in control of. There's large pieces.
But maybe there's a lot the governing bodies of this empire is destroyed. So maybe there's a lot of political reform going on. And let me tell you, I don't want to see another movie with a lot of political reform. That's the last Star Wars movie I want to watch.
But there are a lot of just people who are out of contact or generals who go pirate or whatever, or people who want to try to rebuild the empire and who want to take control.
Still smugglers doing the.
Everything's still there. It's not fixed yet.
It's everything in the Star Wars universe is cyclical, though, right?
How do you measure years in the Star Wars universe or galaxy?
I think they're just called cycles.
Yeah, but what is that?
I don't know. What's a parsec? Is a parsec a measure of space or time? In our world, it's space.
In our world, it's time.
What?
No, other way around.
Yeah, but in there, it's time.
It takes place in one galaxy, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So then they have some sort of magnitude of the scope of their galaxy and how it moves that maybe.
Yeah, but it's a really minor point, but it's relative.
No, I know.
Well, that's also Star Wars, where things make sound in space and stuff.
They should be able to travel from to one galaxy to another.
No, because the whole point is in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying they're acknowledging their warp speed and all that shit.
It's not warp speed.
No. Whatever it's
hyperdrive.
But they would technically be able to travel between galaxies. It would just take a bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would take longer. Yeah,
but
they don't much longer. But yeah,
they don't because that'd be stupid. No, I'm kidding. They're in. Okay, so I was watching so before Star Wars: The Old Republic came out, the MMO, they were releasing these weekly clips of the Old Republic timeline that was getting further and further back in the timeline, and that episode 18 they just stopped. They said, this is actually not doesn't relate to anything that's actually happening in the game anymore, so we're just not going to do it anymore. I was like, what? It was
How far did it get?
It got all the way back to it was it did the first hyperspace war, and talked about it was getting back to the first time the Jedi and the Sith split, and they just they're like, we'll talk about that in our next thing, and then it just never happened.
Did you ever get to ones talking about like X Raccoon?
Yeah, X Raccoon's in there. It's really cool. There's like lots and like so that apparently the Empire like goes out and like is like in exile and in dark space, and like they find this planet or whatever, and they build up like they're for generations are building up like a fleet of like destroyers and like ships to come back and like take on like the Republic. And then that's what the
Darth Malik. That's what happens in the old Knights of the Old Republic 1.
It's like really cool. It's like really intricate and really confusing, but it's like
the Starforge.
There's a lot of stuff. Anyway, the whole point is that Star Wars universe
what kind of stuff?
Like what kind of stuff? That's what's that from the Night at the Museum too. So did we talk about The Last of Us Remastered at all in the last podcast, or is it just a rumor? Either way, it's official now.
Yeah, actually, I might buy a PS4 just for that.
Last of Us Remastered is official.
Jeremy would buy a PS4 if there was a version of Resident Evil.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What day one? Midnight release. Like they released. Remember they released that PS.
Oh, what's this? The 16th version of the game. I better buy a $600.
The definitive HD PS. No.
Notice that this one is definitive, not the other ones. All the other ones are crap.
I actually looked for the box of it, but you can't. You can only buy it on Steam.
That's funny. Anyway, we'll run in 1080p. It's going to include all the DLC.
Of course.
It's going to be $60. It's won 200 Game of the Year awards according to the cover.
It's like 200 plus or something. I think.
Yeah. Have you seen there's a trailer for it? Where
one for every version of the game.
He just starts showing like it goes like boom, like different award, boom, award, and then it goes like boom, 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 boom. Like starts showing like award after award after award after award.
Yeah, it's a sweet trailer.
Anyway, it's supposed to come out sometime. You can pre-order it now, I believe, sometime this year.
The cover's cool too.
Yeah,
it's like a black and white.
Black and white, like.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I love me my covers.
Anyway, it was rumored, but we were pretty much sure that it was official anyway.
This is the cover of the PS.
That's a lot like the Wii one, but not black and white.
Yeah.
I don't get it,
dude. So this kind of relates to what that one story from a couple weeks ago when I was talking about like the tiny percent of mobile gamers who actually spend money.
Yeah.
Being like 0.15% or something like that. The whales. This is loading, but it says here that 2/3 of mobile free-to-play games quit within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Players quit within 24 hours. So that's kind of similar. I guess those people who don't spend any money, they're saying, yeah, not for me. Here we go. Here's a story. Amazon is going to acquire Comixology. The Comixology is what we all use for digital comics.
Yeah.
I don't buy single issue like print comics anymore. Only digital. I actually spent just like $20-$25 on digital comics the other day. So Amazon's going to buy it, which almost absolutely means that like, for a long time.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. For a long time, people were like really concerned that like I don't want to buy my comics online or on this site because like what happens if the site goes away?
Yeah,
and then what happens to my comics, right? Well, this essentially means that it's never going to go away because Amazon is buying it, right? Let's see what else they have here. Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely connected to Avengers 3. That's not a surprise there.
I'm actually stoked for that movie. I watched the trailer again. It's a really good trailer.
Yeah, I know. The one with Hooked on a Feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great trailer. So like funny, like actions in it.
Yeah.
Justified actor writing Star Wars game? That's Justified.
I actually watched that show. I watched 3 seasons.
Like it?
Yeah.
Is it really good?
Yeah.
Like how good?
It's not like epic or anything, but like it's just a cool little show. Like
so that's
like a sheriff.
That's the person we're talking about, Todd Stashwick from.
I don't know what
not
it is, but
what?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Nice. You're gonna say it.
How do you know that?
She's not even around. My girlfriend, I just texted her. She's gonna bring us beers. It's perfect. It's all good.
Tell her to go over to 7-2.
Tell him what?
Tell her over to 7.
Nice.
Want to say hi?
Say hello.
Hi.
So I was telling Jeremy this the other day when we were out for some beers. that my favorite James Bond, I think everyone's favorite James Bond.
Shut up.
Wait, why are we talking about this?
Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan.
I feel like we talked about
We talked about this not on the show. So Pierce Brosnan has come out and said that he feels his James Bond was tame.
And Julian for 20 years has been saying the exact opposite. But the man himself, yes, you said he wasn't tame. You said he's the most fleshed out, most diverse of all.
I think
Bonds.
he can. I think he could do. He could do all the different types. Like
he didn't.
But that's because he wasn't given a script. He wasn't given good scripts. I think that's true. He was living in the world of James Bond of the '90s, where everything was over the top and ridiculous.
I don't understand why you jump into the gun to defend this guy.
Because he's my favorite.
No, that was the later part of the career with the last few movies, and he wasn't funny. I didn't find him funny in those movies.
Honestly, it's just GoldenEye. And Tomorrow Never Dies is alright.
Yeah, but those two movies weren't over the top. Those were actually
exactly. But after that, World Is Not Enough.
No, not good.
I'm shaking my head. They can't hear. They can't hear.
The villain's good in that one.
Is that the one where
Christmas Jones is in that one too?
Yeah, she's probably the worst Bond girl, but one of the hottest.
And Electra, whatever.
She was a great villain.
What's the one where
it was about kidnapping and like becoming part of.
Tomorrow Never Dies is actually pretty shitty.
Yeah, it's shitty with Lucy Liu or something like that.
It wasn't Lucy Liu. It was just an Asian woman.
Is that the one where the guy? Is that the one where the guy is
Lucy Liu is from Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, is that the guy?
Kill Bill.
Hold on, is that the guy? Is Tomorrow Never Dies the one with
the guy from Full Monty?
No, let me finish.
With the drill and the guy gets.
Oh no, never mind. That's World's Not Enough. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, so he's like
he's the news
mogul.
Yeah,
and he's like creating the news.
Yeah, that was super cheap.
Also, the Halle Berry one was real shitty.
Yeah, no,
that was the later one.
That's the last one he did. That was the last one he did.
That was the second last one he did, wasn't it?
No, it was the last one he did. That was the ice with the ice.
Die Another Day.
Yeah, that was the 20th anniversary though.
That one was horrible.
And they offered him like $50 million to come back again, or he wanted like $100 million or something like that.
Horrible.
Okay, but it's still entertaining. Okay, here's what I say. And I tweeted about this. If you follow us on Twitter at Tower Battlecast,
like me, like I follow.
I'm talking to them.
Okay.
But you should also.
Okay.
Because you asked me what I said, and you said
we know he's your favorite Bond.
No, but I said that he was able to embody like the suave side that I don't think that Daniel Craig can do.
I agree with you there.
And I disagree.
But he's also able to do.
Yes.
But he's also able to do this.
Absolutely.
Also, he's not very funny.
This is how it is.
You just like him because he has blue eyes.
No. I actually think he's not a good looking guy at all. Like, I think he's not good looking at all.
When he's not on camera, he's not on mic, he actually says he's the hottest.
It's like the whole saying, don't let the suit wear you, wear the suit. I feel like he does that to a T. He walks around like he owns the place in every scene.
When I think about it, it's remember that scene from Casino Royale when he sits down in the train, he sees Vesper Lynd for the first time. Great scene, by the way. Casino Royale, great.
Yes, we know. Yeah.
And they're kind of like reading each other, and he says he tells her that she's like an orphan, and then she reads him.
Yeah.
And then she says like the whole because you jumped to orphan right away, I think you were also an orphan. And then she's like you wear that suit with such disdain or whatever. Because he's wearing the full suit, but he's like, you wear it with such disdain that you didn't come from money or whatever. That's what I think about when you say like he doesn't wear the suit, or whatever. The suit doesn't wear him, he wears it. Yeah. But that's why he doesn't feel like he fits with that. But I think that Bond should fit with that. That's how I always felt.
That's the exact opposite of what I feel, but okay.
But I mean, that's
one scene. And was he poisoned at that time, or was
no? That's you're on the train. That's before that's when we even really.
He was still nervous when he was going in there. Though.
No, no, not at all.
I think he was for the card game. I think he was.
He was in a card game. They were on a train to. This is like early in the film.
Whatever. That's her saying one line that you are. Saying
I'm just saying that's
3 movies that he's done.
I'm just saying that's where I think about when you say that. I'm not saying it's wrong.
Either way, Brosnan was the most one-dimensional Bond in my opinion.
I disagree.
Absolutely.
Timothy Dalton. Most one-dimensional.
I don't even count Timothy Dalton. It's Roger Moore.
Sean Connery's the best. Obviously, Sean Connery's the best.
And yeah,
when's the last time you watched a Sean Connery Bond movie?
I watched like once a year.
What? Also, I'm not a super Bond fan like you. Never been a huge Bond fan. They've never been great movies. They've been entertaining, and that's the only purpose they serve. So Sean Connery was the best in that capacity.
Yeah, but you can say that about a lot of most movies that we watch that we find enjoyable anyway. You can say that about every Marvel movie. It's couldn't. They're not great movies, but they're just entertaining.
Because they are. They actually have backstory. They actually have developed.
Well, Bond, you don't watch the stories, but
zero characters in a Bond movie are developed.
Even in the Brosnan movies, though,
even then, until now, he wasn't.
Nowadays they're developing it way more. They're actually good stories.
Up until now, he had zero backstory.
In the Brosnan movies, there was always like a relationship story or whatever. But I never felt the connection between him.
Yeah,
and the girl.
He's always like, especially him in Christmas.
Yeah, not supposed to.
She didn't deserve him.
He's disconnected.
And Timur Never Dies. He had his ex or whatever that was with the news person. That was the only time he felt like he cared for her. But even then, it's like he brushed aside. Whereas in the Daniel Craig movies,
they set that up. They tell you why that is.
Doesn't matter. In the Daniel Craig movies, it actually takes effect on him and it changes who he is.
Because that's supposed to be his first mission.
But it's perfect. That's why it's so good.
And that's I love
Brosnan's super one-dimensional. Watch them again. He's super tries to be super authoritative and monotone and no emotion at all. That's all he is.
It is kind of it's a low character arc. He doesn't,
No, it's it's the Bond of the time. I think given better scripts, you would have seen a more complex.
You're defending him as an actor, not.
I think as the way he portrayed Bond. Yes, I'm not in a vacuum as far as the scripts aside. Yeah, with it, but it's hard. I mean, like I said, GoldenEye definitely still holds up. Go watch that movie. That film does.
GoldenEye for sure. GoldenEye is the only one of his that does.
That movie, especially, it also introduced Judi Dench as M, who just finally finished and was arguably one of the best characters in that entire series.
For sure.
That scene where they first meet each other in GoldenEye is one of the best Bond scenes of all time, I think. If you guys go back and watch it, it's where she calls him a Cold War dinosaur, and he kind of has disrespect. He kind of
plays on that whole feminism about it.
Yeah,
too, right?
it's a great scene. So go back and watch that. If that's the only scene you watch in GoldenEye, it's worth it. What else we got? Paul Bettany talks about the Vision, but he just says that he's not allowed to tell him what powers that he has. Apparently they picked and choose which powers to give the Vision from the comics instead of all of them, because he had all of them, maybe a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
But he's going to be connected to Jarvis though, right? Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, it's the same voice.
No, it's the same guy. I know, I'm just saying they're going to connect that whole...
Well, you'd assume so if you're going to have the voice of Jarvis.
That's better than the comics then, in my opinion.
They're able to
it might be a combination, right? Because the whole thing in the comics, it's Ultron that creates the Vision, right?
Yeah.
So this might be
more than
but we kind of assumed already that with that kind of teaser trailer where the Iron Man mask got banged into the Ultron or whatever, that Ultron was taking over Tony Stark's technology. So he may
Tony Stark invented Ultron.
Yeah. So. Yeah,
right?
They've said that already. Yeah.
And then using Jarvis kind of technology, then Jarvis becomes his own thing, then creates the Vision.
Or Ultron creates the Vision, and then Tony Stark has some redundancies built into the programming.
I think that's all better to follow.
It makes it more concise. Yeah.
And then that actor, it's sweet for him. He gets to conceptualize and be a person now.
By the way, Paul Bettany, great actor.
Yeah.
I mean, Knight's Tale, right? We all remember him in Knight's Tale. I mean, I don't know. He's not done a lot of.
What's that one movie that was super shitty though? A religious movie.
Well, there's been a million of those.
Yeah,
I know. Legion was the one that it was a starting role and just brutal.
He's done a million of those.
He plays the silent
a priest, a monk.
Yeah. I think the movie's called
Priest. One's called Priest.
It's so crazy. Yeah, it's typecast to a T right there.
Yeah, but it sucks. But there's some of the movies he's done is really great. I mean, he's had smaller roles, but Knight's Tale arguably is not one of my favorite movies, but I really enjoy watching it. I think it's super entertaining.
Wait, isn't there a different voice actor for Ultron though?
Yes, there is. So he's not Ultron.
Oh, okay.
He's Vision. I can't remember who voices Ultron offhand, but I know that
he's a good actor though.
Yeah.
He's in that Blacklist show.
Will Carnage appear in the game? So Carnage might appear in the Venom movie. Please cast him.
Whatever. Let's just see Amazing Spider-Man 2 first.
Man, so some of it's out internationally.
Reviews are bad.
Reviews are mixed. Would you say?
I'd say all bad.
All of them are bad. I don't know. I didn't look at all of them.
Usually you get pretty this is sweet but this
from
is just everywhere. But now it's okay. You get good CG here and there, but we've seen all these CG moments in the trailer.
They look cheap to me. I don't know.
They're all the slow motion Spidey sense, him figuring things out. And we've seen 3 of them.
Well, okay. So if this movie falls to the same trap as either as Spider-Man 3, I swear to God. If it's just too many villains again...
This one's still going to make more money than the first one, I think.
Well, it has to. It just will.
But 3 didn't... I'm pretty sure 3 didn't make as much. That's why they changed it. Yeah. It was
critically... I think it was critically panned, obviously.
Yeah.
And then it didn't... And because of that...
but even its opening weekend and stuff didn't beat 2, I'm pretty sure.
Well, 2 was pretty much... at that time was the height of comic book movies.
Yeah.
That 2 is a great movie, by the way. Spider-Man 2 is amazing.
2 is one of the best superhero movies ever.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It pretty much sets it set the stage for what we have now.
Yeah.
I think...
And that tone matches the MCU, in my opinion, too. Like those movies.
Yeah, I think I think it would as well. I think this new one does not as much, unfortunately.
No, the new one doesn't at all. No.
It's too...
It could, but it'll be tougher.
They're gearing more to a younger... I guess maybe...
And also,
not even Sam Raimi was older, right?
Yeah.
You know, he had so much experience and older actors playing Spider-Man and everyone else,
right? Can we all agree Tobey Maguire's pretty good as Peter Parker?
Yeah, I think he fits it good. Like, obviously everyone was skeptical.
I don't like... Who's the new guy?
Andrew Garfield.
I don't know. He's too like a cool guy, like type... Spider-Man
should be a bit nerdy.
Yeah, you know?
At the same time, though, Spider-Man was never, like... The nerdy, like, he was always bullied. Like, he was not unconfident.
No, he was that.
He was always that.
But guess what? Times have changed. Remember in 21 Jump Street?
That's right.
Being a nerd is cool now, right?
Yeah. That's true. Hilarious movie.
So it's kind of
No, one strap. You got a one strap in.
I always do the one strap.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time I did double strap.
I think you're a double strap tonight.
I definitely didn't double strap.
For sure double strap.
I for sure didn't
practical.
double
strap. You guys use like Roots Adidas backpacks.
Adidas, not.
I've literally had the same backpack for the last 15 years.
Backpack.
Nice. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Portable bag for your butt.
Halo Composer was terminated from Bungie. Apparently terminated.
That's the fancy professional word.
Yeah, it is. It's like when you
instead of
when you when you take a bear out to when they take a bear away and have to kill it, they say they destroy it.
Well, like in Reading, I'm pretty sure it says terminated.
Yeah, you've been terminated.
But like they'll be like, we have to let you go or something.
That's what they need. They need that fucking person that to have like Schwarzenegger just say you've been terminated.
Because termination, like you know what that means.
Yeah.
You've been obliterated.
Have you guys seen the new trailer for Days of Future Past?
The final third.
The final one, yeah.
Pretty sure we showed it to him, didn't we?
I don't think so. You haven't seen it, but it's pretty cool. It's like super cool.
Show me after.
I'll show you. We can't talk about it because you haven't seen it, but we can talk about it.
I don't care.
It's
can't spoil anything.
It really sets a lot more tone of how the movie's actually going to feel as opposed to like the first or second one, which was like all action. The first one's like super sad.
This one follows Wolverine.
Yeah. And it says more just follows.
And then Rogue scene is back in the movie apparently.
That's what people are saying. She was one of the first. She was one of the first.
She was like a linchpin of the first movie.
Yeah.
Like she was the main.
She was essentially she was the MacGuffin of the first movie.
Because they didn't know how popular Wolverine was going to be. Actually,
I think you have a pretty good idea.
No, they knew it was going to be popular, but not like to the level that Hugh Jackman brought it to.
True Detective is the most watched HBO freshman series.
Well, yeah. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I don't know. Like,
of course it is.
You could have said that Game of Thrones could have been.
I can't wait to buy that Blu-ray and watch all the special features.
There was so much word of mouth about that series.
Yeah,
everybody, even people that don't like TV shows,
and it was great because it was
imagine the commentary in every episode that behind the scenes things we're gonna know.
There are very few things I love enough to watch the commentary on. Okay, Community, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones.
You know what? You guys want to know the first thing I ever watched Community on? Or the commentary on? Was the Michael Bay movie The Island.
That's the worst decision you've ever made.
I'm sorry, but like it was. I had nothing to do that day. I'd watched it. I rented it. This is when back when you rent things.
That's with Obi-Wan Kenobi, right?
Yeah, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi, isn't it? Yeah. Start Obi-Wan Kenobi and Black Widow, Daniel. Come on. It was pretty cool.
No, it's a cool movie.
It's visually cool. Like it looks like every Michael Bay movie looks cool. What else do we have here?
I would never watch commentary on Community though. Like that's just pushing it right there.
Well, I don't know. If you like Dan Harmon is a pretty funny guy. So If like it'd just be more comedy, like you already know the jokes that are happening, so you can laugh at those. But then you also have
just
on
commentary on jokes. Like, just let me
well,
laugh.
They're not explaining the jokes.
No, I know. Like just let me laugh at the show. Like you don't need commentary on how they filmed this joke scene.
Well, I think they're more talking about like it's probably more like I don't know.
It's for the super fan. That's not really a regular thing that people are going to do. In my opinion.
Well, I mean, most people don't watch commentary anyway.
I know, but like I don't think I'll ever watch commentary on comedy. It's just not going to happen.
You wouldn't go back and watch the 21 Jump Street? Like,
no.
Funny people just talking about filming
if both the two do, like, the two actors, yeah. But, like, not Dan Harmon how he wrote this scene.
No, but that's not what he's talking about. It'd probably be him sitting with some actors.
He can talk about how it came
No, I know, but it's more likely that they're just chatting.
I know, but
and it's just
when
funny
you think
stuff.
of commentary, you think of watching commentary
that's
for
the first thing.
or something.
That's the first thing you think of. It's like the back of the, like, behind the scenes.
Yeah, like I watched commentary on Lord of the Rings movies because, like, that was cool. Like, they brought in almost every actor.
Yeah. It's okay. Well, with Game of Thrones, I watched commentary for the first season.
Yeah, no,
it's weird because like some of the episodes will just be like commentary, and just be like Sansa and Arya will be like the only two commentary people.
Yeah, it's like fuck.
And I'm like, why? Like these people have nothing interesting to say, especially about scenes that they're not even in. Like especially about scenes they're not even in. Like it's like okay, like we haven't seen, we never even saw these people.
It's kind of cool because then they can speak to their character, what they're feeling during that scene, but. Because usually they don't know in that world because it's not, you can't, like it's carrier pigeons to know information, right? Like,
sorry? Did you guys hear me pee in there?
No, I didn't hear you pee in there. We're just saying that, well, like, he would never watch Community. He would never watch Community's...
never. I'm just saying, when you think of commentary, you think of for more of a drama commentary. Because...
So what is Community's commentary?
I'm going to watch Community.
It's actually hilarious.
That's what I was saying.
Hilarious
as the show. I was like, the jokes are in there, but you can just laugh.
I'd rather watch the show and just laugh at that.
Okay, but also the reason you watch commentary on anything is you get a little bit of insight into the process behind. They'll say like, "Oh, remember this scene? This happened. Blah blah blah."
Yeah, no, I'm saying I feel like it doesn't really necessarily matter as much to see the process and how they wrote a joke.
Sometimes you'd be surprised though. There's a lot that goes into that.
But I'm saying it leans more towards dramas is what the norm and what most people would do for commentaries.
I don't know. I don't think it's less complicated to do a comedy than a drama in terms of cinematography and stuff like that.
It's more interesting to learn about a drama and how it conceptualized than guys.
You could argue that it's also more boring.
Yeah, it could be more boring too to hear someone spew off about all the research they did.
But I'd rather just watch the comedy for the comedy itself and laugh during.
No, but I'm thinking like if you have a comedy, there's funny people who wrote or started the show that are going to be funny probably in the commentary.
Yeah. I doubt you're going to be laughing the whole time watching.
You could though.
You were a super fan of that show, so you're going to laugh.
I laughed a lot.
I also really much enjoy. Oh, by the way, Archer's final episode of season 3 airs tonight. Season 3? No, it's 4. Season 4.
I have to catch up. I've only watched the first 3 episodes.
Man, the last. You know how every season ends with a a 3-part episode. This last 3-part episode is hilarious. I mean, I say that about every episode, I'm sure. But like this is really good.
This thing, hilarious.
All right, so the producers of the Spider-Man, new Spider-Man movies, came out and said, like, what would it take for a crossover with Marvel?
Oh yeah.
And they said, really it would take both studios running out of ideas and running out of for it to
and a big bag of cash.
Yeah, and a huge pile of money. We just have to come to terms with the fact.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah.
I've already come to terms with it.
Okay, here's the newest rumor out of the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, they're gonna go with X-Men, right?
There's rumors that there might be a crossover because they both own by Fox.
Studio.
But no, Fox.
Alright.
That they might not even be called the Fantastic Four in the movie.
In the movie or the title of the movie?
Either way, they won't be called the Fantastic Four.
What do they call? They don't change
FF. They sometimes go by FF. Yeah. But either way, that's stupid.
Also like the family and
Who
stuff.
Who gives them those new suits, the white and black suits? You remember that?
No.
Oh, you read the comics?
In the comics, their original suits are what they're wearing when they go to space.
Yeah. I know, but they got new suits in FF. They're white and black.
Like in the FF comic?
I feel like Peter Parker made them for them, but
I don't know. Reed Richards is a better scientist than Peter Parker is.
Well, yeah.
So I don't know why he couldn't make his own suits.
I don't know. I remember there's a storyline about it.
Maybe Tony Stark made them.
Because Spider-Man was in FF and he had a black and white suit.
That's pretty cool. Anyway, And we've said this a million times, but I just have no faith in that.
And someone made a real life web shooter. I saw on Reddit.
Yeah, that looks like I don't know how, like. So I saw the web shooter, but like, what does it shoot?
He like has one like projectiles, and then he has one magnet one. He's got one that stabs into it, and it retracts back to him.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. And it's got a laser pointer on it.
So you can like aim it.
Yeah, aim it.
Sick. This is it. This is how it starts.
No, you just need to find.
And it's gonna carry your own weight. And
super material. Yeah.
And that's bullshit too, by the way. Like how Spider-Man had to make his web shooters. He gets every other spider power
except for shooting webs.
That's where
he gets spider senses, but he doesn't get web
That's where
making.
Sam Raimi was correct in just making it natural.
Yeah, and well, part of it was that they didn't want to show someone making.
Yeah.
Also, he makes it out of a watch, which is dumb.
Yeah.
Like,
and apparently James Cameron, who's gonna direct Spider-Man,
yeah.
gave Sam Raimi that idea that it should be natural.
Well,
he didn't
of
get
course,
any credit.
of course, it fucking should be natural.
Yeah.
That first scene where he's like everything's changing, whatever, and
He's
like
learning
hairs
to
are growing out of his
That's a
fingers,
good one.
and like everything. That's super cool.
He's walking on the set. You know,
Yeah.
it's not CG because he's just like walking on a flat set.
That's how they do a lot of the Spider-Man things.
Yeah.
Where they just have him like leaning.
Makes sense.
But either way,
like
that's
Batman and Robin going up the.
they wave at people as like in the windows. What a great show. Okay. Robin is set to return to the comics. We don't know as who yet.
I was hoping for that stupid sound effect you make on something that.
What Batman?
I'm interested in that one.
Yeah, but like it's clear, like obviously, like.
Yeah, I know.
You know, what I'm saying is like, which
okay,
Robin or is it a new Robin? Like
maybe I don't know. All the previous Robins who haven't died have now taken their own identities, right? So we have Nightwing, who's also dead, but looks like might be returning. Surprise. We have Red Robin, who was Tim Drake, and then Red Hood, yeah, and now Damien, who's dead.
Yeah.
So either Damien's coming back, which
could be.
Seems like he just died.
A little too soon.
Yeah, it's too soon. So and like there shouldn't be another Robin. So like maybe having Tim Drake come back as Robin for a little bit or so. I don't know, but like he's doing his own thing with the Teen Titans. Like it's all I don't know. Do you really want to have a fifth Robin? Like like
there's already a lot of them. 6, yeah.
It would be the 6th one.
I think so.
What's the girl's name?
In
Harper Row. You idiot. Oh no, you're talking about the new person. Oh, from Dark Knight
Carrie
Returns.
Yeah.
Harper Row is the new person from the new 52 stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I have her first appearance comic. It's an issue, which I hope she becomes a popular character in that comic book is worth something one day.
She will become a popular character. She's already taking on a new role or whatever. She's gonna be like Bluebird. Bluebird. It's a new sidekick.
God damn.
But it's in the future or whatever. I think I don't remember. It's comic books. The third Hobbit movie might get a name change. So originally
it was
supposed to be called There and Back Again, which is sweet, right? But now
when I think about it though, like the sweet ass action trailer comes out and then the Hobbit There and Back. Again.
So the new line has registered the name Hobbit Into the Fire. Is that
God? Horrible.
Well, apparently the site, whatever that's like super into like Lord of the Rings stuff, is saying that it's in reference to the chapter out of the pan or off the pan into the fire, or whatever it is.
I believe it's just called Into the Fire.
Out of the pan into the fire, I think.
So now it makes sense to you.
It's still a bad.
But There in the Back Again was sweet. The whole movie was supposed to be called There.
It's never like cap on the entire series, even though it's before.
Yeah,
because the book, The Hobbit, is Bilbo's story called There and Back Again. Yeah,
no, for sure.
That's what it's supposed to be.
It should be that.
You've seen that in like the movies a couple times, like when he opens it. Like
now that the first like subtitle they came up with, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was when it was supposed to be only one movie. It was called There and Back Again. And then when it was 2 movies, it was supposed to be the second one was there.
It does sound like a lame subtitle, though, like There and Back Again. Like
what's the first one called? Something
Unexpected Journey.
Unexpected. I was gonna say
Unexpected Party.
No, Unexpected
Journey. Yeah, Journey.
Party is the name of the chapter.
The first chapter.
Because it's a birthday party, right?
Yeah. No. The first chapter is the unexpected party is all the dwarves coming to his house.
Oh. Yeah.
Unexpected. Yeah.
Wait, what's the chapter with his birthday party on Lord of the Rings?
That's the first. That's
called
Lord of the Rings. That's not
What's
the Hobbit.
the chapter called?
I don't know what it's called.
I feel like it's something similar to that, though.
I don't think it is because it's not unexpected.
Dude, you know what I found out? Like this is a while.
It's not. It's fine.
That they actually Tolkien went back and retconned a lot of the Hobbits.
Oh, yeah.
You say Tolkien or Tolkien?
Tolkien is what I said.
You say Tolkien?
I saw Tolkien. That's his name.
Tolkien.
It's not Tolkien.
No, you just say Tolkien. No one
It's
says
not his name.
No one says
It's
Tolkien.
T-O-L-K.
No one has ever said
What, I-
Tolkien.
It's
No.
Tolkien.
That's what his name
No one
is.
says it like that.
That's even more weird than I said it.
It's Tolkien.
It was Tolkien, but
No, it's I-E-N. It's Tolkien.
what either?
No one has ever pronounced it.
But it's not
Tolkien.
Tolkien.
Anybody who speaks English should pronounce it.
I'm saying no one's pronounced it like you just did.
Doesn't matter though. It's not
Ronald
Tolkien.
Reuel Tolkien.
We can all agree that it's not Tolkien.
I'm just saying a lot of people just say Tolkien.
Well, those people are all wrong.
Easier to say.
Anyway,
And
so
we
we
can
went
drop the RR from all these fucking authors' names too.
Tolkien R.R. Martin. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the
John Ronald Reuel Tolkien is his name.
So he has two R's too.
Yes.
And then the Game of Thrones guy has RR too.
Yeah,
That's
is he
horseshit.
R.R. Martin. I don't know what his middle name
Is it just in reference to Tolkien?
No, a lot
It
of
probably is.
a lot of-
And Harry Potter has one R.
J.K. A lot of them do their first
Oh,
initials. J.K. Rowling, C.S. Lewis, A.A. Milne, T.S. Eliot is a common thing with authors.
It's also usually not their real name.
Sometimes
What's that called?
that's pen name.
It's also has
Nom de plume.
another word for that.
It just
That's what I
sounds.
just
more,
said.
There's actually another word for it than all those ones you just said.
it just sounds more cooler when you say George R.R. Martin.
Yeah,
So
like when you say so, George Martin or Jorge Martin. Anyway, yeah. So apparently he retconned a whole bunch of the part of the Hobbit.
Yeah, The Hobbit was written first, and it was completely separate. And then as he was writing Lord of the Rings, he went back and made it make sense.
That's when. That's before retconning was like a thing.
Yeah.
He retconned things before retconning was a
Yeah.
thing.
The Hobbit was written first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I assumed that.
It was just kind of like you read The Hobbit, and it's such just like a happy adventure story. It has not. It doesn't have the same like
reading
gravity that Lord of the Rings has.
No, I love
I
it.
don't think it's supposed to, and then
No, it's not.
the movies kind of make it seem like it should, but
Well, because they are trying to connect everything, right?
although some of those extra connected scenes are some of the coolest scenes, like when
There are.
Gandalf goes to like crazy tower.
Mhm.
And then like, he like fights like the goblins or whatever, and he's got like weird dome thing going on.
Is the third movie coming out this winter?
Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas.
I still haven't seen the first one.
Yeah.
I said I'm waiting. I'm gonna watch both
I
back to
said
back.
you're crazy.
And go to the theater.
That would be a good way to do it,
Yeah.
but that's also a long day.
2 movies, whatever.
3.
No, well, yeah. I mean, like I could watch 2 movies
The night
day
before.
I'm
Then
a like a Lord of the Rings super fan. I've never even watched all 3 in a row.
Yeah.
I haven't. I've
Yes,
tried.
you have.
No, I haven't.
You absolutely
I've
have.
not
Well,
been
yeah,
able
because
to.
you tried to do the director's cut.
Which are like
Oh,
6
yeah,
hours
the,
long.
the
4 hours
extended
long.
editions. Oh, but I've done it with
There's
taking
like-
breaks.
There's like almost not enough
Okay,
time
I
in a
watched
day
all 3
if you want
back to
sleep.
back.
It's like a 13, 14
I
hours.
watched all 3 back to back 3 days, and then I watched it again with commentary.
But what were you doing with your life at the
I don't know. I
time?
must have been sick.
Like I hope you didn't have a job.
I worked at the bar at the time, so yeah, I didn't work in the week.
2D Prince of Persia, poorly in development. Dan, you're a huge Prince of Persia fan.
Huge.
I would say you're a Prince of Persia super fan.
Out of everyone here, I'm probably the hugest, but
Like one game.
I've never played any of them. To be
I
they're
honest.
actually pretty
bought the
fun.
collection.
They're awesome.
I know they had like the Sands of Time.
That's a good game. That and the one that followed it. Then it got a little ridiculous, but
Yeah, but the reinvention of it
yeah,
with the cell shaded graphics, everyone liked that.
I haven't
too.
played that.
There's a cell shaded one?
Yeah, PS3, Xbox.
Yeah,
That's just it.
Anyway, yeah, I never really played any of those.
I think it's
They're
called-
they're
Yeah, like
good.
a lot of platforming and puzzling, solving
Yeah.
and stuff. It's kind of like God of War a little bit.
It's like God of War, but it's better than God of War. It's
What?
yeah, and
Love
coming
God
from
of
me,
War.
right? Better
And
than
like-
God of War in certain ways.
And
Like,
Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
Right.
that's where you lose. me.
Great film.
Why would they pick
Emmy
that guy for
Award
that
winning.
role?
I have no idea.
Man, I don't know. The whitest actor of all time.
He spent some time in the tenant booth.
Gemma Arterton, though.
Who?
Gemma Arterton.
I don't.
It's the whole Tolkien thing.
Say that again.
I'm pronouncing the name the way it's supposed to be. I know it's weird for you guys.
Alright, whatever. Xbox One has shipped 5 million units, so that's good. Although PS4 is outselling it by like, considerably. You can't find it at PS4 in stores.
I found some at Staples.
Okay, good for you.
And the story is PS4 has sold 7 million.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yes.
There's 7 million in houses.
Yeah.
7 million.
And
ones that
Xbox One
And
is less
shipped.
shipped 5 million, which is the key. It's the key difference.
But it's still hard to find Xbox Ones where we live. Right
Yes. Although that's
both systems.
yeah, I mean
are
yeah,
fun.
but
But the
PS4
long-
is finally winning again. Right?
Yeah, which is crazy.
Which is actually having a
And I have a picture here of like the release date. Release dates for games coming up.
Is there okay? Is there good? There's
Just
nothing
look it
really
up
good.
here.
There's nothing really good coming
Just
out.
point it right at the mic when you show it.
Yeah, point at the mic so everyone can see. That's because that's how microphones work, right?
I assume so.
I don't know.
I'm not a
This is
scientist.
also,
A Scientologist, Daniel.
and you'll notice a slight some disparity there.
There's a. I'm looking at the blue side, the PS4 side, seems to be a little bit like more full. And then the green Xbox One side is a little sparse.
And I don't know if we talked about this, but Amazing Spider-Man 2 not coming out on Xbox One.
Oh, that's right. They said that it's coming out on every other platform.
But Xbox One.
Yeah. And like a lot of people, like there's a lot of games that have been like people are talking about like how like the frame rate is up to 60 frames per second on PS4, 30 frames per second on Xbox One.
Yeah, you enjoyed the first Amazing Spider-Man game on the PS3.
Okay, so Jeremy, Don't Starve is like these already come out, I guess. Some of these are Jeremy. To be fair, some of these games have been coming out.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
You collected the comics in the world and everything.
I did. I collected all the comics.
Of what?
Amazing. In the video game Amazing Spider-Man for the movie, there's comics to collect. It's
and it
like,
was good.
like Riddler trophies all over the
You
place.
said the Vulture was in it?
It was a decently fun game.
I thought it was supposed to be canon.
The gameplay wasn't great. It happens right after the movie.
Yeah, but
I'm
And
not
more
sure if
villains
it's canon.
show up, right?
Yeah, more
Who-
villains.
Who shows up? Like Mysterio?
There's this weird rat guy, not Mysterio. I
Mysterio's
believe
the
Rhino.
lamest
I
of
think
all
Rhino
X-Men.
is it. Scorpion is for sure.
Did Rhino have a metal suit?
No,
So
I don't think.
that's
I'm not
where
sure if
it
Rhino is. Scorpion for sure. This weird rat guy that I've never seen before. The
I've always
Vulture.
liked Scorpion.
And they played off the whole thing that it was all Oscorp like experiments kind of
Well,
deal.
there you
Like
go.
they were all like the lizard. They were just like a Scorpion Man hybrid thing. That
Yeah.
but,
That's kind of what the show was doing too. Amazing Spider-Man.
and Smythe was in it. He was like a big part of it.
Smythe was pretty cool from the cartoon. back
And
in
he
the day.
started out without his mutation, and it happened in the game.
Cool.
So that was pretty sweet.
So I'm looking at this and you're like some of these are games that have come out for the PS3. For instance, Don't Starve, that's been out for the PS3 for a while. Outlast.
But at the end of the day, it's exceptionally larger. So.
Yeah, and so you got a lot of indie games, and that's a lot of
Yeah.
like
Which
Fez.
is again flourishing on the Sony
Flow.
platform.
Yeah, Infamous. You guys how I platinum Infamous?
Yeah, it's great.
3 platinums, good for you.
Mercenary Kings just came out. Dan, you'd really enjoy that. It's free for the
I'm
PS.
gonna blow Infamous up with a bomb.
Okay, anyways, whatever. You don't like Infamous. But anyway, Mercenary Kings, Dan, you would love this game. Okay, it's very like classic, like old school style gameplay. It's like pixel art 2D side scrolling shooter. Super hard. This is the last thing I couldn't beat. Like the first, I played the first level 3 times. I couldn't beat it.
I'll beat it for sure.
Anyway, no, I don't think you will actually.
I promise.
You probably wouldn't. I might just suck at video games. That's possible.
That's true.
But it's free for PS Plus on Xbox or not Xbox One on PS4 right now, and
Are there any free games on PS Plus? Because I have it for PS3 right now.
on PS3.
Any
Yeah, there is. I don't know what they are offhand. But anyway, I think as far as
Mercenary Kings.
Mercenary Kings, yes, good game. Star Wars Rebels had a new clip. They just
I
had
thought you watched the entire show, didn't you?
Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, Rebels.
the new
number
one. Yeah, this isn't Clone Wars news. Jeremy.
For one.
But basically it is.
Yeah, well, it said that all the people. So the composer from Star Wars Clone Wars is coming over to Rebels, so that's great. And they're allowed to use a lot of like the real themes that they weren't really, I guess, not allowed. That weren't. That
Yeah,
they weren't
because
allowed.
they were kind of like a rework of the original theme.
Yeah, so like they were, but like now that like the Empire's established, they can use like the Empire theme. There's a lot of those things that they can really use like the actual movie score to a lot more like effect. Anyway, so he's a really good composer. He'll be taking over, and so they had a new clip with Hera. She's the pilot or whatever, and it had her taking out a TIE fighter, which was really cool. So you had the TIE fighter sound, and and
Echo.
and like they blow it up. It looks exactly like when you blow up a TIE fighter in any like the previous. Like,
Just a mass explosion.
Yeah, like just a boom, and like it's like a fireball essentially. And
do you remember the Death Star exploded, and then but really only like a quarter of it exploded?
Well, when it looked like it exploded, but it looked like a giant explosion and nothing should survive it.
Yeah.
And then really only just a piece of it exploded. Although no,
they were building a new one.
They rebuilt it, yeah, but like
no, they weren't rebuilding it. They were building a new one.
Okay, but
it was a second Death
So
Star.
did
why
the
the
second
fuck
Death
does it look like it was exploded on one half?
Because it wasn't finished
No,
construction.
but it was like it looked like it was like charred and burned.
No.
Because you're seeing it from far away. You're just seeing like missing
Space.
girders and
Yeah.
stuff.
So
Girders.
my question is
Scaffolding.
All the advanced technology in the world, but they still need girders.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't build it like that. Like
How would you build?
You would build a frame and then build the outside,
a frame or in
and then
tiers of a sphere. You wouldn't build it like a couple
They
strings.
built that thing
and
at Epcot Center. They don't do. You build it. You don't build a frame.
how'd you build the
first.
Epcot Center?
You don't build a no that big like golf.
Yeah, the Epcot Center. That's what it's called. But how'd they build it? Is I'm asking you.
They didn't build a frame first and then work their way in.
Or the bottom of the sphere, and go up. You don't build it like
Exactly.
sideways.
No, of course, but you also don't build like one level done. It's not Tetris.
It should be level by level by level by level.
No, really, if you're building anything in space, you build the exterior first.
Yeah,
and then you
exactly.
start building in the inside where there would be air all of a sudden.
That's why I thought they were
That's not how
rebuilding.
space works.
That's why.
Isn't it just magically air?
No, but you obviously install whatever the air machines
What?
and
Bit-
then
Why
I'm
would you
saying-
not build it from the outside or from the
Base-
inside out?
because then you'd be building in space the whole time.
Based on the
You're building in space the whole time either way.
No, but then you wouldn't have to have people with masks on the whole time. People floating off into space and dying.
That's not how space works.
I don't know.
Yes, it is. Have you seen Gravity, Dan?
Yeah, I've
People
seen
float
Gravity.
off
If
into
you're
space.
holding onto a spaceship and you just let go, you're not floating off into space. You're just staying
no,
there.
No, any pressure you put, you're gone.
If something hits you,
Yeah.
if you
Could
punch
happen.
the spaceship, you'll go flying the opposite way. Sure.
Okay, we're getting too deep into this. I actually thought it was being rebuilt based on the image of it because it looked like it was.
But it's
Yeah,
a,
either
second,
way.
it's a
Yeah,
new
it's a
Death
second-
Star.
So did the new Death Star was
not
they just
fully
was-
finished yet.
It's not fully operational.
I want to see.
Also, that part of it that's not finished, that's probably where that big fucking gun was. Right?
Okay,
Because
but I want to see.
Or they don't have railings and
Yeah.
everyone
I want to
stands.
see when the machines come up to it and like a fast forward of like 3 years or whatever
Like-
of a fast build. Of this, you know what I mean?
that doesn't exist. You can make that.
Okay,
Someone's
listen.
gonna make that.
Listen.
No, I'd say it should be in the movie somewhere.
No, it
What?
shouldn't.
You don't need a montage for the Death Star.
That doesn't even matter, really. And then the whole story is like, how would you even build a planet-sized
I'm saying,
spaceship?
how cool was it when Dooku like had that little like
He's like,
thing?
yeah.
This is the design for it.
Yeah, I guess, but it just looked like a little rotating Death Star. Like they didn't show each level.
I'm just saying, like, I'd like to see the process.
No one wants to see the process.
You have to understand, this thing's the size of a moon. It would be ridiculous to watch that entire process.
That's why you speed it up in a fast-paced motion.
Yeah,
Which is the sound that plays by any fast motion, anything.
You have to. Or that
Yeah, that one. Hilarious. Yeah, I think that there was a Batman 75th anniversary panel at WonderCon this week.
should have tied that into the first story.
Yeah, I don't even know really what
segment.
happened at it, actually, to be honest with you. I can't remember offhand. I read it at like 3 o'clock in the morning when I read this story, so we're almost out of time anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean,
Sure.
anyway, Kevin Smith was there, and yeah, you're an idiot. Fuck you, man.
Why do that sound for that?
Nah.
You don't like, wait, you don't like Kevin Smith movies, or you don't
okay.
like Kevin
He's
Smith?
He's a huge. He's the
I know.
Batman super fan. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he has a podcast
he
called
is.
Batman on
I
Batman.
know. I'm
That guy's
aware of
the
all that.
Batman fan.
Man, by the way, did you guys see that? Like, there was one of the podcasts for Batman on Batman. It had, let's see if I can pull it up here. The worst. I don't know. I didn't listen to it because just based purely on the guest name, it was the worst. I can't find
I haven't
it.
listened to one in a while actually because I've not
Chris
seen
Daughtry.
Jen would love that.
Why would I like that? Like the American Idol guy?
Yes, the American Idol
Yeah,
guy.
He has
he
a
would
huge-
love
No,
that.
I would not love that. He has a huge infatuation with Batman. as well.
Apparently, yeah, he's on.
Jeremy already knows that because he's his biggest
I
fan.
know that, but I didn't listen
Because
to
he's
it.
a subscriber to his fan site.
I I should download some of his songs actually.
No, I don't know.
Some of them are pretty good.
I mean, with that, we're just gonna wrap it up for the day.
I'm trying to think of one of his songs and I can't. I'm just gonna fake sing it.
Anyway, follow us on Twitter at Tower Babblecast.
Fake sing it, but really sing it.
Facebook.com/TowerBabblecast.
Pinterest.
Not Pinterest. Make sure to pin Tower Babble. We should be on Pinterest. What are we thinking?
What do you pin?
Hey,
I don't know what Pinterest is, Daniel.
Just post all your stupid action figure photos.
On what?
On
Instagram?
Pinterest.
I don't understand. I thought that's Instagram.
No.
No?
I don't do any of those sites.
You wish you did because you
barely
too dumb
have a
to figure it out.
No, I have no patience for that bullcrap.
There's no patience involved.
Here, can I ask you a question? Why does Instagram exist if you can have a picture on Facebook, anybody can comment and like and blah 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 blah?
Because it's only pictures.
Because this is only pictures. So you
That's
don't
all
get
that matters,
bogged.
basically.
Okay, so why does Twitter exist when all it is a glorified Facebook status?
That it's not about Facebook at all. Twitter. Though.
Okay, but I'm saying if Facebook serves both those functions, why do we need these separate?
So you think Facebook is the best thing ever?
Because
no, I don't. I
because
hate
they
Facebook.
specialize at one.
Facebook is
Specialize at what? Letting somebody type their
no.
name.
Facebook is too muddy. It's too like there's too much going
stuff
on.
Yeah.
And Twitter's not.
No, because Twitter's you see the person
To
you
be fair.
follow.
Okay.
And
To be
you
fair,
read it
coming
or
into
not.
Twitter for the first time, like what the fuck are hashtags? Everything looks
I'm
like
familiar with
confusing.
hashtags.
No,
I understand.
you have a lot of quippy things to say and interesting things to say. You tweet it, and you might get
Daniel,
popular on
you
Twitter.
have tweeted anything ever. So like
I've tweeted on my own
you
account.
tweeted what? Like how many times?
I don't know, like 4 times.
5 times.
I'm just saying, if you have something smart to say, post it.
I
Put a
have plenty of
hashtag.
smart things to say.
Then
I'm never gonna post it.
Let's do an
Why
experiment.
I'm never gonna
Daniel,
tweet anything
let's
in
use
my
this
life.
thing.
Use the Tower Babblecast Twitter.
Yeah.
Post something smart. People will say
Listen.
something.
Post anything smart, whatever you think is going on in the world, maybe reflect on it.
But it has to be
somehow, right?
smart.
And then you can post a link to your Game of Thrones stuff. You can tag actors in the show that are on Twitter that are very.
They might retweet it.
And they might think this guy knows something. He's very articulate in explaining the show. And
you might get more listeners
you
that way.
could be
Because the
popular.
actors
there.
really have whatever. No.
They have plenty of time. They're not acting right now. They're probably not filming right now.
They're not filming right now. They do have plenty of time. Is another beer here? No,
It's a huge outlet, Daniel. Very simple. Only 100.
No, I understand that. I understand it's very
sentence.
popular too. I'm just saying the pretense
I'm saying,
is the exact same cream.
Facebook is too much. It's too much stuff's going on.
Anyway, if you're worried about things being too much, there's also our website, www.towerbabblepodcast.com.
Nice. That was nice. What is
You ruined it by saying it was nice.
BABBLE at not the biblical babble. That's key. Other than that, we will be back in 2 weeks. Next week we'll have our Game of Thrones podcast. If you haven't seen, we also just recorded today's Game of Thrones podcast, season 4, episode 3. Pretty good. We also got, like I said, next week as well. So listen to those, subscribe, comment, like us on the iTunes. That's key. Rate us and subscribe us on iTunes.
Why is that key?
Because we might be on the new and noteworthy page. That'd be pretty cool. That would give us like a whole bunch of audience there. So anyway,
pretty noteworthy.
we are very noteworthy.
All right.
So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.